Okay, we're going to now look at adding a more difficult buddy to avoid. This one is going to be ghosts, and the idea of a ghost is just going to kind of float around randomly in any direction, nothing predictable, basically. So, I'm going to create a new object for the ghost. Obviously, I'm going to call it ghost, and I'm going to select sprite for it, and I'm going to add it onto my second level. Okay, I'm just going to add it right in the middle of the level to give it plenty of room to wander. I'm then going to go into it, and like with the bomb, I'm going to have create events. I'm going to drag the move in there, and this time I'm going to select all of the directions, and I'm going to set it as quite a slow speed, maybe 2, and click on OK. Now the thing with this, if I play the game, you'll see what I mean, is I'll pick up the apples to get to the next level. Okay, you can see the ghost just starts randomly going into one direction. Now, when you select all of the directions like this, it will choose one direction at random. Now the problem with that though is that eventually it's going to obviously go off the screen, so we want it to bounce when it collides with the wall. So we've done this before, so I'm going to go to collision with the wall, and I'm going to put bounce in there. Okay, that's now going to bounce off the walls, but this is still quite predictable. It's just going to go in a very predictable manner. I want it to change direction randomly. So to do this, I'm going to wait amount of time, and then get it just to do this again. Run this command where it will choose a random direction again. To do this, I'm going to do an alarm. I'm going to set an alarm, and you can find alarms under main 2, and it looks a bit like a clock called set alarm. So I'm going to drag this in. I'm going to then say after maybe 400 steps, trigger the alarm. Now, after 400 steps, and bear in mind this isn't 400 seconds, it's 400 steps, and yeah, there's a number of steps per second. After those steps have been run, I then want to add a new event for alarm, and because I set alarm 0, I'm going to set the alarm for that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm simply going to put the exact same command in there to choose a random direction. I'm then also going to set the alarm again. I'm going to copy it, and I'm going to paste it. Now what will happen is every 400 steps it's going to trigger this alarm, alarm 0, which will then set the alarm again, and then also choose another random direction. So that means that it's every 400 steps it's just going to randomly choose a new direction to move into. Obviously, I also want to get it a bit like the bomb. I'll go to player. So when the player collides with the ghost, we want to restart the game. So go to add events, collision with the ghost, and get it to restart the game. Let's see what that does. So get to the next level, and then let's see the pattern of the ghost. So the ghost is moving. So it's just bouncing across there quite happily, and all of a sudden you just see it randomly change direction. If we wait for it to go for 400 more steps, it will then again randomly change direction. There it goes. Now that's still fairly predictable, so let's make it even harder to predict. To make this a bit more random, we can actually get Gamemaker to pick a random number between 0 and 400, and we can do that by simply replacing the 400 with the word random, open bracket, 400. Now what this will do is whatever's inside these little circle brackets, it will pick a number between 0 and that number, and that's going to be the number of steps that it chooses. Because it could potentially come back with actually 0, I'm just going to add 50 to it as well. So this way it's going to be between 50 and 450. Okay, because every number it pulls back, it's just simply going to add 50 onto it. I'm going to do that exactly on this one as well. So I'm going to choose random 400 plus 50. Oops. Now if I run this, again I will beat the level. Oops. So the ghost is now moving, so hopefully it will choose a random direction soon. There it goes. Now, if you wanted the ghost to maybe change directions a bit quicker or a bit more often, you can just simply reduce this number down, maybe 200, and change this to 25. Do the same on the other one. $25. Run it again, and this time it should be a bit more random. So if I click these, go to the next level. Let's watch the ghost now. See it change a bit quicker this time. That's going to make a bit harder to avoid because you never know when it's going to randomly change. Okay, and that's it.